What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, break them down, review them, grade them. So you get like the A through F grading system with plus and minuses. Do you count? Sometimes I have guests on, and then sometimes just me, like today. And speaking of today, we're reviewing Captain America, the First Avengers, which this is pretty much Chris Evans in a whole new role when, as another superhero, I should say. I had to pause there for a moment. Because I'm going to say, just erasing his old superhero persona that he had. The old superhero persona he had was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four movies, which, as a kid, I kind of enjoyed. Besides the second one, I didn't like, Rise of the Silver Surfer. I think it was the Rise of the Surfer. If I'm not, I could be wrong on that. Sorry if I am. Probably should do a movie review on it. Future timing. But anyway, so Chris Evans is back. And he's erasing the Human Torch and pretty much becoming that first Avenger, Captain America. And this movie that, when I first watched it, I was really, I did not like it. I did not like this movie when I first watched it. It was boring. It was dragged out. I tried to watch it. I couldn't. I think I fell asleep on it one time and then rewatched it. And I don't know. I did not like it. But I watched it again in the year 2018. And I'm like, this movie's not that bad. So it starts off with the origin tale. It's Rogers, call him Roger Smith. Steve Rogers, sorry guys. Steve Rogers, he's like, want to join the military, but he's too scrawny. He's weak, he's frail, he's not big enough. He's like a toothpick. But he won't back down to anybody. He'll stand up, stand his ground, fight for the person who can't defend himself, do whatever he can. And he wants to be in the military. He wants to support his country. That's all he wants to do. By the way, this movie is based off in World War II. That's the time frame. So you're watching Captain America First Avenger, and then for some reason decide to watch Wonder Woman. You're like, wait, what's going on here? Aren't they in this? No. Wonder Woman's World War I. Captain America World War II. Remember that. You know, there's still a guy named Steve in both movies. Steve Rogers is Captain America, and the other Steve was Wonder Woman's lover. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, Steve Rogers, he go through a science experiment, and he becomes a super soldier, and he's Captain America. But in this movie, you find out about Captain America. You find out how he became the superhero, the symbol of America as Captain America. Besides, it's like, in the movie, they try to make him some kind of face of bailouts or bonds, and I was like, what is this? This is garbage, hot garbage. But you see how he's overseas, and you hear about his friend Bucky let's get kidnapped, or he's getting kidnapped by the Russians, not the Russians, the Nazis, the Germans. They got him, and Captain America goes to rescue not only Bucky but the whole troops that was kidnapped. He saves them all of them, the whole regiment. He brings them back. I think over 200 soldiers, and he becomes another soldier in the war. He fights for America and beating down all the bad guys, and Hydra, which is not the Nazis, but Hydra in this movie, which is pretty much a version of the Nazis, and they're kind of create world domination, take over. So Steve Rogers, Captain America, got to fight the Nazis and stop the bad guys from winning the war. And in this movie, you get to see Captain America as one of his arch villains, Red Skull, which was a really powerful, really strong villain in Captain America's history. And in this movie, he's just like there. That's how I feel about Hugo Weaving, who is a great actor, by the way. You ever watch The Matrix? He's been reduced to a character that you forget about. I don't know how many people remember the Red Skull. Like, nobody does remember him. Like, nobody remember him. Anytime somebody talk about like Marvel movie villains, you hear Loki, and then you get the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy because he wasn't that great of a character. You might hear Ultron, and that's it. But yeah, that's pretty much Captain America First Avengers, the origin story behind Captain America and how he pretty much helped win World War II and stop the Hydra from taking over. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into some characters here. So I already mentioned him. Chris Evans as Captain America. He is now forever Captain America. I don't care. You can watch Fantastic Four over and over again and say, oh, that's Human Torch. No, I don't see Human Torch now when I see Chris Evans. I see Captain America, and that's what he will forever be. Like, forever be. Ever. Just great. Then you have Hayley Atwell, who plays Peggy Carter. I love Peggy. I love Hayley playing Peggy. It was pretty cool seeing her, like, after rewatching it again and seeing how her reactions were. Like, Hayley did a bunch of facial expressions in this movie. Like, there's one scene where after Steve Rogers get the get the super soldier serum. Say that 5 times fast. Super soldier serum injected into him, and he comes out like just taller, buff. Like, he went from like 5'1" to 6 foot, ripped, jacked. And Peggy's looking at Steve, and she's like, I don't try to touch him, but she's like, oh wait, don't touch him. And she's like, just losing her mind in front of Steve. But nobody else noticed it. Like, Steve Rogers looking up, everybody else is kind of talking off, and it's hilarious. And Peggy had a bunch of, I should say Hayley, had a bunch of other facial expressions throughout the movie that I really enjoyed. Love their character. One thing I didn't like was the love story they tried to put between Peggy and Steve Rogers, and like they never really try to say it was a love story. They kept like jumping around it, but you knew they liked each other and that tension was there. I wasn't sure what was happening with this or where they were going to go with it. Steve never got the chance to kiss Peggy. It was like, okay. I know he did kiss her. Kissed her in a cheesy scene at the end of the movie where Steve was like, he about to go, and she grabbed him, kissed him, and Tommy Lee Jones in this movie, he goes, I'm not kissing you. Thought that was kind of funny. Speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, he plays Colonel Chester Phillips, and he just Tommy Lee Jones, pretty much. He felt like Tommy Lee Jones in his movie where he's a stern, old guy. Like, I'm getting my way regardless. You prove me wrong. Oh, okay. Well, I've been proved wrong. But I'm not going to tell you did right. He's like, I'm not telling you did good. He's just like, okay. Go about your business. I like Tommy Lee Jones. Hugo Weaving, who played the Red Skull. I wish Hugo had more work in this movie. I kind of wish the Red Skull was just not this evil figure, and that was just all he was. I kind of wish he's more conniving, more storyline. I'm not really that familiar with the Red Skull character. I read his background, but I never kept up with it. I just know he's a really strong annoyance to Captain America. And I just kind of wish that, I don't know, kind of wish that Hugo Weaving would have had a little more with the character. Sebastian Stan, who plays James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes. In this movie, for what it was, he was okay. He didn't have that much of a role. He was there, the kind of like, supporting character. See, anything that stood out to me in this movie, I'm gonna look at my notes real quick here. Oh, Natalie Dormer's in this movie. I had no idea. I was like, what? Natalie Dormer's in this movie? Okay. That's a cool little cameo by her. It was slow for an Origins movie. Yeah, the villain was forgettable. Side characters wasn't really fleshed out. Dum Dum Dugan was in this movie, and he wasn't really much. I said earlier, Bucky Barnes was there, but you didn't really care about him. One thing I didn't like about this movie was the cartoony vibe with some of the CGI and like the time skips. Like, there was parts of the movie where Captain America's going around doing more like heroic stuff, saving more soldiers, and he was just more it's a cartoonish kind of like CGI cartoony for a superhero movie, I should say, like time skip. It's like compiling all this stuff together. I'm like, I want to actually see Captain America do this, but I guess it's just showing over time this was happening, and then at the end of the movie, that was that. Oh, Stanley Tucci's in this movie. He is the doctor. He's Dr. Abraham Erskine, and that was kind of cool. Stanley was not Stanley. Keep saying Stanley. Stan Lee does make a cameo in this movie too, but Stanley Tucci's in this movie, and I was just kind of cool seeing him in other movies over and over again. I don't know. I don't mind him, but yeah, that's it. I think that's it for anything that stood out to me. Now, is this movie a Friday night movie? No, don't watch it on Friday night. Watch it Saturday morning or Monday evening, something like that. We want to do other things and just want background noise. So, grading time. I'm going to grade Captain America First Avenger a C+. It It was way better than what I thought it was when I first saw it years ago. I rewatched it again. I enjoyed myself. Still don't remember parts of the movie, sadly. You know, I just watched it a few days ago. Just for every reason, just bloop. Don't remember it. The ending, the fight scene, like nothing about the movie really stood out to me besides Captain America crashing and being a prequel to the First Avengers. Like, and that's the First Avengers movie, I should say, not the First Avenger, because that's Captain America. But this movie was literally just, it was fleshed out. It's like Thor, Captain America, Avengers. Like, that's how it felt like. So, yeah, that's Captain America First Avenger. What did you guys think of it? What did you guys feel about the movie? Please let me know. Please put in the comment section below. I really appreciate it. Also, request a movie review. Request a new or old movie. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe for more episodes of Grind Towards Success, movie breakdowns, or whatever it is that you're watching on my channel. I have different stuff from interviews to other movie reviews to wrestling reviews. If you're a wrestling fan, please subscribe if you want to see all that and see what's going on. Also, you can follow me on Snapchat here. Follow me on Instagram there to see what I'm doing in my personal life as well as my business and Ninja Warrior. And lastly, you can watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns there. Thank you guys once again. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Keep being awesome.